Well, it is 6:17 and time now for What's Trending. When someone is the worst in your fantasy football league, punishment can range from trash talking to money and maybe a tattoo. But one group near Kansas City tried to humiliate their friend who lost their fantasy football season by making him play in a U.S. Open golf qualifier. John Eckert showed up to Oakwood Country Club in Kansas City with Kirkland golf clubs that he bought from Costco. And this is the only footage that we could get was Eckert's scorecard. Eckert would struggle for the first few holes as he was 7 over par after the third before getting a 10 on the par 4 fourth. Eckert would shoot 112 on the day, 40 plus for the round, which was dead last by 4 strokes by people who played all 18 holes. His playing partners weren't the most happy with him, saying that he was late to his tee time because he didn't go to the right tee to begin with, and his first tee shot, well, it only went 10 feet. So I gotta say, I do understand where like his playing partner is, that they were frustrated with it, because it puts you in a different mindset when you're playing with like really good golfers compared to like a bunch of hacks, maybe. I know I'm a hack. I know my game changes by who I play with, but excuse me, but it's what a group of guys, though.
Yeah, that is definitely too funny, though, and definitely kind of brutal. Fantasy football can have a way of being a little brutal sometimes. So be like, oh, you're horrible now because of this. So you definitely get to pay the consequences. I guess,
I read a little bit more on the story. He had Kyler Murray and Derrick Henry on his team, and Derrick Henry didn't miss a lot of time last year, but it's not that bad of a fantasy team, I thought. Yeah, I mean, you just get very unlucky. I know this past year I got very unlucky, even though I was just constantly like swapping players out that were not doing so much. Yeah, I know you're laughing. And I don't know if I was dead last or not, but I think I was pretty close. I don't think you were last.
No, I don't think I was last, but it was still pretty bad because there was some people that beat me on some days, and I was like, they weren't even participating. So
yeah, that does happen from time to time.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think my fantasy days are pretty much done unless somehow someone talks me into it, though, because I kind of lost my taste for fantasy for reasons I'll tell you behind the scenes. But otherwise, though, there are certain things you don't want to be late for. And your wedding is definitely top of that list. I'm sure that's definitely correct for many people. One California bride was worried her groom got cold feet, but he just ran into a problem trying to get to the church on time. Misty and Brandon Valdez tied the knot on Saturday, but not before Brandon and his groomsmen got tied down, stuck in an elevator. Valdez let family and friends know what was going on, but nobody wanted to upset the bride. And within minutes of getting trapped, the Clovis Fire Department was called to help rescue the groom and 6 others. And Brandon was about 90 minutes late. The couple had to skip family photos at the church before the reception. And all in all, the couple is thankful to finally be married and with a unique story, for better or worse. And you know what? That's kind of the fun thing when it comes to weddings, though, is everyone just wants that most perfect wedding, nothing to go wrong, just everything that's planned out to the exact, I don't know, just very to the exact detail, though. It's like if one little thing is different, like say, for example, my clicker remote is in a different spot, it's totally messed up. So
yeah, but like, this was like, a little more serious.
This was a lot more serious.
Up like an hour and a half late, I can definitely understand the anxiety that the bride may be feeling at that point.
Yeah, I mean, although this is kind of one of those circumstances that you can't help. Obviously, the elevator malfunction, it's like, all right, obviously, you got to just be ready to just play along and to see what happens. So I'm sure they got some pictures eventually, but
yeah, I'm sure they
definitely good that they eventually got the wedding ceremony off. But definitely, it's those best memories that you won't forget.
Yeah, for sure. Well, taking a turn to our last story, one of the latest technological techniques to enter the space race doesn't so much involve launching a rocket as it does flinging one. Startup company Spin Launch replaces a fuel-powered blast-off with a kinetically powered slingshot launch using a giant centrifuge to spin a rocket at supersonic speeds like 5,000 miles an hour, and then fling it towards the heavens. Once up to speed, the rocket's engine lights up to continue its journey to suborbital space. The company's aim is to advance low-cost launch systems and reduce fuel consumption. I gotta say, it's pretty cool that you can do it that way, but I don't know if any human could do it, because I don't know if they could withstand the G-forces that it would take.
I wouldn't know that answer either. So obviously this is a new technology, so we'd have to see kind of how this develops. So I'm sure there's going to be some experiments to give it a try, though. But hey, it's a good way to definitely save some money and kind of cut down on the fuel costs and everything too. Although who doesn't like a good rocket boom? If that definitely happens with a launch. But